Hey, how's it going? It's your main man, Imani Mulire, and I'm here with the OBS Podcast Template release. Let's go through this template, and I'll show you how to install it and customize it. Step 1 is to download the template from the website. You'll see the link in the description below, along with the instructions. At this link, you'll see instructions on how to install everything and how to customize it. Download the podcast.zip file to your computer and extract it to a folder. Make sure that folder is in a permanent place, because if you start making customizations with the template and then move it later on, things may not work. Now let's go to OBS and set everything up. First, let's have a new scene collection. If you have the default scene collection with nothing in it, you can use this. But if you're working on a project, you want to create a new scene collection so that you don't delete anything you've already started working on. You can create a new one and name it whatever you want. Once you have a blank scene collection, we have to change the resolution size. This template is 1920 by 1080, so you're going to have to go into settings, either File, Settings, or you can click Settings down here in the control dock. And go to Video. In Video, you want to change the base canvas resolution size to 1920 by 1080. All the other settings are dependent on your stream settings. Hit Apply and OK. We can now import the template. The template is a script, so go up to Tools and hit Scripts, and you're going to get the script window. You want to add a new script by hitting the plus sign. You're going to navigate to the podcast template folder that you extracted. I put mine in the Documents, and that's where it's going to stay for me. Inside there, you're going to have a few things. You want to click on the podcasttemplate.lua file. Open that up, and your script window is going to populate with some options. These are all the options you're going to use to customize your template. First, we're going to have to build the scenes. At the top of the window, there's a Create Scenes button. When you click that, all of the scenes will populate and the sources. So let's check it out. The first scene that pops up is a 2-box, your standard podcast scene setup. You have a place for the host, a place for the guest. You have the names, titles, and other options. You also have the logo here, and you have background and this border around here. You can customize all of these. Let's see what other scenes we have. You have the title page, which is where you'll start your podcast off. You have 1-boxes, where it will just be your guests by themselves, or you by yourself. There's also a scene for stats if you want to have stats about your guests or your podcast. And a scene for graphics if you want to have full screen graphics, and you'll be able to scroll through these graphics. Currently, there's not a scene for videos if you want to scroll through those. That will come in a later version. Other scenes you have, these are more customizable scenes. You can do things for the host, the guest, the background, and the logo. We'll get to that next. First, let's do some basic customizations. Back at the 2-box, I'm going to go to the script window and start to change some things. Let's start with the text files. If you look in the script window, you have things like host name, the title of the host, the guest name, the title, contact information. Let's start with that. So host name, you can put whatever you want in here. I'm going to put my name, Imani Mulire, and my title will be Instructor. And for the guest name, let's do Jane Doe. And she is an awesome guest. And if I move that out of the way, you see it, the change there. But we want to do some more customization. We want to adjust the font and the size to get it to look just right. So if we scroll down a little bit further, you'll see options for a primary text font, which is the primary text is at the top, and the color for that, and a secondary text font, which is the text underneath. I'm going to click Select Font for the primary text font. And you can choose whatever fonts you have. Whether it's on your computer, you can look for fonts online and download them. I'm going to just start with basic Arial. I'll make it bold. And I'll make it big, 72, and hit OK. And there you go, it updated. And you'll see it updated on both of them. I also want to change the color. Let's get a different color. So primary text color, let me make that yellow. Okay, and the secondary text, let me change the secondary text font. But I'm going to make it italic. And I'm going to make it 48, a little bit smaller. And there it is. And it's on both of them. They're adjusted. So if we go back up to the text options here, I want to do some contact information. If you see there's an animate lower third button, animate contact information button, that's how you bring up the different text. So I'm going to animate the lower third to get that out of the way, and you'll see the contact information is there. And the same thing, you put the contact information you want, so that's in there and you can see it. And also I can animate the contact information on and off. So you can bring up anything you want, and you can animate them both on and off. Let's leave the names on for now. So what other customizations we can do? I'm going to change the color around here, change the border color. So if you go down, scroll down past the font and the font color, you'll see an option for border. So let me select that. I'm going to change it to blue. Underneath that is the fill, which is this box behind the text. So I'm going to change that color too. Let me change it to dark blue. Another option we can change here is the background image. So we have a default image here, but you can change that. So this is when you start bringing in your own assets, things that you find or create. If I hit browse, I'm going to locate something on my computer and to use as the background. And same thing, make sure that it's in a permanent location, because if you change it later, OBS won't be able to find it. I have a demo media folder here and I have a brick background. I click on that, it opens up and it changes the background. The background is 16 by 9. Just make sure you keep it in those dimensions. It will stretch otherwise. If you don't want it to stretch, make sure that it has the correct dimensions. Underneath the background image, there's an option for a background animation. If you want a moving background, and I'll browse for that. I actually have a video loop, and same thing, you'll have to create or find a video loop if you want to use that for background and make sure it's 16 by 9. I'll hit open, but you won't see anything yet. You have to click on this turn on animation button. And you'll see it, a little moving background, some moving dust. You can put whatever you want in there and it'll loop. If you don't like it, just simply turn off the animation and it goes back to the background image. You can also change the logo image here. So if I click browse, this is where you'll have your custom logo. Let me click that, I have a logo here, and that changes the logo. So our podcast is looking more custom to your liking, and you can change these settings whenever you want. It'll automatically save in the script window, so when you close OBS, it'll come right back. There are a couple more options down here. One's for title music, if you want music to play during the title card, and you can turn it on and loop it, so let's check that out. When I go to the title page, you'll see that the logo has been changed, the background's been changed, and there's an option for music, so let's find some music. I'm going to browse for that. I actually have a music loop also. And I'm going to turn on the music and let's see what happens. You can see the levels, but you don't hear anything. This is what OBS does. You have to actually set it to monitor. So if you go into the audio mixer, and you click on the gear here, you go to advanced audio properties, and you'll see the music's here. It's active, but the monitor is off. So let me turn the monitor on and output. Monitor and output so that it gets recorded and streamed. So now I'll bring my script window back here and I'll turn on the music. There you go, you have the option to use music on the title screen, and you can loop it if you want it to continuously play, or if you just want to do a one shot where it plays and stops and then you switch to the next scene, you can just leave the loop music option off. Those are the basic customizations, and they carry over to the other scenes. The one box and the stats. So the stats here, you can just go back to scripts, and if you scroll up, there's the option for stats, so you can put whatever you want in there, and that'll automatically update. Let's go to the graphics scene. And right now we don't have any graphics, but if you go to your script, underneath of the stats is the option to add graphics. So if I hit the plus sign here, I can add files. And I have more files here in my demo media folder. Let me grab these, hit open, and there you go. If I go back to the script window, below the graphics area where you input your graphics are buttons to scroll through the graphics, so you can go to the next graphic to preview it and see what it looks like. And the graphics will loop, and they automatically have that fade transition. And those are the basic scenes. We're all set up. Now we're going to do some more customization. How do you get your camera and your external source in there, let's say from Zoom or Skype? So that's where these extra scenes at the top come from. If we start with the host, and you go over to sources, you'll see everything in this host scene and how to customize it. First, we have our host lower third, which is the names here and host contact information. That's all taken care of, so we can close these folders to save some room. After that is the host camera. This is a video capture source. So if you have your camera, your webcam plugged up, you can just open this up and customize it to capture your camera. If you're using a different kind of source like a Blackmagic source, you can just simply create that source and swap them out. Underneath of that is the host mic. This is where you're going to capture your microphone. It's important that you capture your microphone in this option. You click and choose your device, and you mute the camera audio. You only want the audio coming from the host mic. That's going to make sure that the audio carries over on all the scenes. And underneath of that, you have a black layer. In case your camera goes out, it goes to black. Same thing with the guest. The guest has a guest lower third and a guest contact. And here I've set up a window capture. It's called guest remote. So if you want to capture a window, let's say Skype or Zoom, you can use that, open that up, and choose the correct window. And I know some people do monitor capture. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is click and add the monitor capture and swap it out. And just like in the host scene, there's the guest mic option. That's where you'll import your audio source from your remote. Most of the time that's going to be through a virtual audio cable, and we'll get to that in the next tutorial. After that, we have the background sources where the animation and the image live. If you want to, you can customize your own background. You can put extra things in here, whether it's text or shapes or other images, and that full background will carry over to the other scenes. And then you have the logo scene, which is currently just a logo image. But same thing, you can create your own logo inside of OBS using text layers and image layers, build it in here, and then it'll carry over to the other scenes. Just make sure that it's full screen, as big as you can get it, or else it won't translate well when it goes to the other scenes. And there you have it. You've done most of your customizations. The last thing to do is to assign hotkeys. So you go back to settings. I'm going to click settings. And this time I'm going to go to hotkeys. There are a lot of options in here and it's really easy to get overwhelmed. But everything is in here as far as the scenes and the sources and different things you can do. So what I did is put all of the important hotkeys at the end of this first section. This top section here, at the bottom, you're going to see all the hotkeys that you need. The first are the animation buttons. This is how you animate the lower third and the contact information. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use the number pad. I'm going to make this slash and make this number times. The 2 box for me is going to be number 2, host box 1, guest 3, graphics 4, stats 5, title page 6. And next graphic is going to be plus and previous is minus. So hit OK. So now we're on our scene. If I hit the buttons, I can scroll through with the hotkeys. Not bad. If I don't like it fading, I can cut it, change the transition to cut, and we scroll through all the scenes. Let me try my animation. So I can do my lower third animation, and I can do my contact information. And sometimes they overlap. Yeah, they auto overlap just in case you're having a problem seeing one. And if I go to my graphics scene, I should be able to scroll through the graphics. So that's the basic template. I'll continue to make updates. If you find any issues or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with more tutorials.